Alright guys, here we are, and we got the 1972 Monte Carlo here at Street Freaks. This is one of our pride and joys right here. This is one of the first restorations that we've done, and absolutely love this car, and it's got a whole lot of meaning to us. This car will probably be with us forever. So we're going to go ahead and give you a quick walk around this thing, see what you guys think. We've been waiting for a long time to do a feature on this car. Here it is. Check it out. So here you have it. It's a 1972 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Body was rock solid on this car when we found it. It didn't look nothing like this. It didn't really have any body panels replaced on the car. It still bears its original quarters. We went with a classic 70s and 80s look on the car. Wanted it to really look authentic, as if it would have been a hot rod from the 70s and 80s. A day 2 restoration, if you will. It's painted a Mulsanne blue with a little bit of pearl in it. This is a color that was actually available in 1972. This particular car was actually a dark chocolate brown metallic from the factory, vinyl top in the works, but just something we couldn't live with. So we decided to do a factory option color. Went with the classic Kragers on the back. We really wanted to do something classic with the car to keep a classic look. We even went with the authentic Playboy air freshener and the authentic steering wheel, the tachometer on the column. These are exactly like we remember the hot rods back in the day. The street machines of the day. Classic Kragers. All that good stuff. And if you look down this thing, you can tell she just ended up really straight. Really a beautiful car. We're very proud of this one. The classic Monte Carlo front end. First generation Monte Carlo. This body style available in 1970, 71, and 72. 72 had the different parking lights up in the grille. 70 and 71 had them in the bumper. So once again, this thing has just been completely redone, all new weather stripping, all that good stuff. We're super proud of this car. It's had new carpet put in it. There's a towel on the seat because it gets a little hot in the sunshine sitting on that black vinyl. It gets a little warm on the seat. All Pioneer system throughout the car. Real quick, we'll pop the hood on it. Show you under here. Here you have it. What you're looking at here is a 454 that was bored out to a 468. That's the powerhouse under the hood of this thing right now. Get the Hooker Super Comp headers. We converted it all to a serpentine belt system. Now, we did try to stay authentic with the car, but the serpentine belt system was something I just couldn't pass up. The reliability of this thing over the V-belts, I just really, really liked it. So I decided to go serpentine with it. And yeah, the billet aluminum pulleys are also not authentic, but we kind of did the best we could with the outside. So kept everything really clean. We did the air conditioning delete on the wall, firewall. This was originally an air conditioned car. This was also originally a small block car. A 350 car. We do have the original small block out of the car. It's just very tired and very, very tired. So we just, very tired, very sore. So we just decided to replace it with a big block. It has a 4-core aluminum radiator along with the twin electric fans to help keep it cool. And of course, with all the space in the front, it does run a little warmer than what it should because of all this air gap here. If we did have a fan shroud on here and a mechanical fan on it, the car would run much, much cooler. But still, it runs really, really well. Doesn't run hot enough to be any concern, so that's all good. Also, too, on the inner fenders, the first generation Monte Carlos did come with plastic inner fenders. We did replace these with the metal ones out of a Chevelle, and it really strengthened up the entire front end of this car. Made a world of a difference. We did the custom radiator plate cover, vanity cover that we made. We do make those, and I do sell some of those. Grill them on the front, did that as well. So there you have it, guys, the classic 1972 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. here at Street Freaks. Very solid original car. Super glad to have this. She's our street machine. We're on the ride. Good. Hey guys, this is Tim here from Street Freaks. We're checking in here today. We had a really cool car here at the shop that we've been wanting to show you guys about for a long time and do a story on this car. It's one that is very near and dear to my heart, and I love this car more than anything. It's actually one of the first vehicles that me and my dad and my brother built together, and I was able to put this car together, and with help from a few friends as well. I've had it since, I think I got it like in 06. But I'm gonna have you guys check it out and spin this camera around and give you a tour of that. Put it on a beautiful car instead of on this ugly mug. When I got it, it was all painted with like black lacquer, a really nasty black lacquer, and did a really bad paint job on it. It looked really bad. It had all tan interior. Originally this car was dark chocolate brown metallic originally. I did find the build sheet for the car, so we do have all of the original specs on the car. It's an all original sheet metal car. There's been one small piece of metal replaced in the lower passenger's front fender right down there where the brace mounts that we cut out and put a new piece in. But other than that, it's an all original sheet metal car. So no floors have been patched, no trunks been patched, nothing's been patched in this car. It's had, of course, its body straightened out with a little bit of, you know, filler here and there type of thing, but not rot, any of that stuff. I mean, it's just basically been to take care of dents and dings and things like that type of thing, smooth it out. But really super solid car. Keep in mind the original theme of this car as we built this car. The story behind it goes, when I was a teenager, I remember preteen, I guess, my brother and his friends, my older brother and his friends hung out, and they drove cars like this a lot back in the day that I remember as some of the toughest cars on the street. My brother had a 68 Chevelle with a 402 big block in it, and his good friend had a 70 to 72, I don't know exactly the year, it might have been a 71. I was probably 12 at the time. He had a 70s Monte Carlo, first generation Monte Carlo, the same color blue, but his had a black vinyl top. And I still remember to this day that kid getting on that car, and I always told myself, man, I'm gonna have a car like that someday. And I was, like I said, I was about 12 at the time, and now here it is. I finally got one. that we were able to restore and make this thing look mint. So anyways, let's walk you around, give you a tour, and show you this was originally a small block car, but we'll get to that as we go through. So walking down the body here, you can see she's very straight car, very straight, and we will get to some of the interior features here as we get going through here. But coming down the body side, this is the original, original I should say, 1972 color. This is called Mulsanne Blue. There is a little touch of pearl added to this one, so it does have a really super special blue color out in the sun. So one other quick factor about the Craigers, you'll notice, like I said, I went vintage, late 70s, early 80s street machine look with this car. And I wanted to be as true and as real to that entire look as I possibly could. So I went Craigers, cherry bombs, and many other era correct things that you're going to see as we get going through the car here. But one thing interesting about these Craigers is this wheel well lip right here has never been cut or trimmed down. They're very thick wheel well lips on these cars, is kind of how they had it. Well, I didn't want to cut it because it was original quarter panel for tire clearance, but I still wanted a very fat, wide tire on the back of the car. So what I did instead is on a Craiger, which is the rim I was set on the Craiger SS's, is you can only get a 4 1/4 inch backspace is the best one that they have. And I needed to tuck my rim in further and tuck that tire in further to get that fat tire on there. I had room on the inside, but not on the outside. So I found a company out of, I think it was Tennessee if I'm not mistaken, and they were able to custom make me 2 rear Craigers with a 5 inch backspace so I could tuck that fat tire underneath and still keep those big tires. They're 275 60/15s on the back, so they're quite a large tire, and I really wanted that to get a little bit of rake on the car. I also have Gabriel hijackers on the car as well. Again, authentic for the time. That's what I wanted the car to be, the way I remembered them as a preteen. So anyways, the Craigers are just one of the features. Like I said, the car did have cherry bombs on it to be era correct. Unfortunately, I just couldn't take the snap of the cherry bombs anymore. So I did pull those off, and we did put a 2.5 inch exhaust system all the way back on the car, and we ran Flowmaster 40 series on it, which I think sounds a whole lot better in my opinion. So we did go with that. That's one thing I did pull off the car that was era correct. Now, moving along to some of the interior stuff that I told you about before. These are the steering wheels that I remember as a preteen. A lot of the muscle cars had on them back in the day. A lot of the kids ran back in the day was these same steering wheels. You'll see the tachometer above the on the steering column, mounted on the steering column again. Another feature from back then. And you'll also see something really cool here is the Playboy air freshener. Back in the day, everything was Playboy. The door locks, the valve stem caps, the air fresheners, the license plates, all that good stuff was Playboy on everything back in the early 80s. So this particular one is not an actual Playboy air freshener, but rather a replica that I made to simulate the original Playboy air freshener. So this one's made out of plastic and stuff, and so it'll never rot or deteriorate in the sun, things like that type of thing. So really, really cool. This is the original dash that was in the car. This was all tan. The seats were all tan. The whole interior was all tan, and it's all been dyed black. And I've never had any problems with it. I do have brand new door panels for it. Not that there's anything wrong with these door panels, but I did come across some brand new ones. It was a deal I couldn't pass up, so I will probably swap those out. I do have a brand new seat cover along with brand new padding to go in as well, because the padding's kind of broke down on the driver's side, and you kind of sit a little crooked in the car. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that, put all that new stuff in there. And this dash, I think I'm going to keep it. It was all in excellent condition. There's no cracks along the top of the dash at all. The only flaw with the original dash was that the radio hole was cut out. Somebody hacked it out for a more modern stereo. So when I restored it, I really wanted to put the original radio in it just for looks and run a aftermarket one elsewhere. But I'm glad I actually did. I mounted a more modern system in there. I wanted to go with old school names, so I did go with a JVC head unit as well as all Pioneer. The rest of the system is Pioneer. There's a JVC head unit, and all 4 speakers are Pioneer. And when I say 4, I mean the main speakers in the car. There's 2 down in the kick panels that you can see, and there is, of course, 2 in the package tray in the back. And then the other ones that I do have is I do have 2 12-inch Pioneer subwoofers, which is ones that I had laying around. mounted in the trunk along with a amplifier back there as well. Because not that this car bumps music, the only music that is played in this car, the only music that is played in this car, I will repeat, is late 70s through mid 80s rock and roll. That's the only music that's ever played in this car, and that's just kind of for personal reasons. That's what I believe belongs in this car to stay era correct. So it jams a lot of Foghat, Skinnerd, hair bands from the 80s type of thing. So this is the type of car that I remember as a teenager, and a lot of us drove to school in the 80s. This is a 1974 454 bored out to a 468. And this is it does have a little bit of a build on it. Not a whole lot of drastic stuff. It's not a drag car by any means. It's meant to be a nice street machine. The one thing that is not era correct, and many of you noticed, and I'm sure you're calling me out on it at this point, is the serpentine belt system. I did do away with the big fan on the car and the big shroud, and I went with dual electric fans. I just like the look a whole lot better and the reliability of the serpentine belt system, and I did put the billet aluminum on it along with the serpentine system. The car does tend to run just a little bit on the warmer side than most 72 Montes or first generation Monte Carlos with these big blocks in them. Because I'm lacking the shroud and the fan, it does run a little on the warm side. Overall, the car is pretty darn accurate for era correct. You'll notice here on the headlights, I do have the half chrome headlight covers on the headlights as well. Again, another thing that was very common back then. One thing it did not do that a lot of kids did in our area when I grew up was they put fog lights behind the grill. I'm not sure that I will do that. I may, just for the nostalgic-ness of those. And then the other thing I don't have on here yet is the air horns. A lot of the teenagers around our area in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, probably early to mid 80s, I guess I should say, had the air horns mounted under the hood. Some were metal, some were plastic, but basically just a typical air horn. I will probably put those on the car. I do have some chrome ones that I came across. I think it'll look kind of cool, but I'll kind of hide them in here regardless in the corner here if I do that. I don't want them to be a big showpiece, but I thought it was kind of cool. So if you have a first generation Monte Carlo out there and your emblem and the grill looks like crap, we can make it look like this and no problem at all. I do have a precision cut factory decal that I do of these. So you can put this on right over top of your emblem that looks nasty and have it look brand new. You can see it looks great. Brings that pop of red back. I do also have them that come in colors as well. Factory ones were all red. I have them in green, gold, black, blue, 2 different shades of blue. Yeah, so you can put those on your car and have it be back to original look real quick, real easy. It's about 15 bucks and it's fixed, done. So I want to put something on the valve covers. I haven't decided what yet. Again, I want to stay with the old school theme. So I think I might do like a Heartbeat of America thing. I don't know. I haven't decided. I just think it's kind of cheesy. You know, so I don't have a lot of stickers under the hood because I wanted it clean. Back in the day, in the 80s, we had stickers all over under the hood. We had stickers on the rear quarter windows. We had stickers on the car. We were just fascinated by stickers, I guess. But anyway, I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do for stickers. I just can't decide what I'm going to put on the valve covers. I want to put something on, dress it up just a little bit, but I haven't decided. So if you got any ideas, drop them down in the comments below. I'd appreciate it. And also, too, on the build sheet of this car, I do have the original build sheet for this car. And this car was built in Venice, California, and it was shipped to a dealership in Memphis, Tennessee. And there's some rather unique markings on the build sheet regarding the dealership that it went to. And there's been some speculation that the car could have been purchased by Chevrolet itself and used for promotional ads and things like that in the early 70s. So I don't know if that's true or not, but there's been some speculation from a well-known car guy friend of mine that could possibly be the case. But I don't know how to decode these build sheets. And if you're really, really good at decoding the dealership build sheets, by all means, comment down below and message me, because I would love to find out more history of this car. All I know is exactly what I told you so far. The car was built in Venice, California. It was shipped to a dealership in Memphis, Tennessee. But like I said, there's some unique markings regarding the dealership that I went to in Tennessee. So I'd like to find out more about that if possible. It may be nothing to it. It may be something special. I don't know. To me, it's special anyway, so it really doesn't matter to me. But it's always cool to know more of the history on our cars. So. Alright guys, so like I said, we'll do more videos on Josephine coming up. Be cool, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you.